All right, welcome everyone. Today we're going to deep dive into some modern dating drama.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. Seriously. We got this Reddit thread and it's got everyone talking.
Oh, yeah, this one's a doozy.
It is, it is. So basic situation. We got this guy. We'll call him OP.
Okay.
He's on a second date with a woman. Seems like things are going well.
Sounds promising.
Right. But then she kind of drops this bomb.
Oh.
What happened? She mentions, super casually, that she's still dating other people.
And she's planning to keep doing that.
Yep. And OP, not thrilled. He was so thrown off he actually left the date.
Wow, okay. So now he's on Reddit wondering if he overreacted.
Exactly. And the internet is losing its mind debating it.
I can imagine. This hits on something really deep, you know? Even in casual dating, we want to feel special.
Totally. Like, yeah, logically we get it. You date around before things are serious.
Right.
But emotionally, it's different. You start to feel a connection and then bam. The idea of them with someone else just stings.
It's that primal instinct. We're wired to want that one-on-one connection.
Fascinating. But okay, back to the Reddit mayhem.
Uh-huh.
We've got people fiercely defending both sides.
Oh, I bet. What are they saying?
Some are all, girls disrespectful, should have been up front sooner.
Makes sense.
Others are like, dude's living in the past. 2 dates ain't exclusive.
It's this clash of old school dating versus like the app generation.
Totally. You open an app, bam. Hundreds of potential matches.
Too many options, right?
Exactly. Makes it harder to maybe that's why she was multi-dating so casually.
Could be. Fear of missing out, the whole deal.
Now, some of these comments are getting kind of nasty.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, like someone called her a 304, which, not cool, basically implies she sleeps around.
Yeah. We gotta unpack that. It's harmful even if people think it's casual.
100%. It's just straight up double standards.
Yeah.
And it totally derails the real conversation.
Agreed. So what are some of the more interesting comments then?
Well, someone compared dating to conducting interviews.
Interesting. Like really vetting each other before getting serious.
Yeah. Practical, but kind of kills the romance, don't you think?
A bit. But it does raise the question, are we getting too strategic with dating?
Good point. It's good to know what you want, but overthinking can kill the spark.
You gotta find that balance. Head A and D, heart.
Totally. And then there's this whole grace period idea.
Grace period.
Yeah, one commenter said, early on, no judgment on dating history until you're exclusive.
Interesting thought. But how would that even work?
Exactly. Assumes everyone's on the same page, which clearly not the case here.
And how do you know when it's over? Could get messy fast.
Right. Could lead to more anxiety, even pressure to commit before you're ready.
Trying to force a rule on something that's so personal, so individual.
Yeah, it's messy. So, bigger question. How do we date better in this new world?
Honestly. It all comes back to communication, doesn't it?
I think so. Like instead of unspoken rules, have those awkward but necessary talks.
Being upfront about what you want, where you see things going.
It's scary, but so important. Shows respect for yourself and the other person.
And avoid so much drama later on. Avoiding hard talks just makes things worse.
Right. So if something's bugging you, speak up. It's how you build trust.
Exactly. It's like in this Reddit thread, people are so focused on who's right or wrong.
The whole win versus loss thing.
But what if it's not about that? What if it's about learning?
Even if a connection doesn't work, you learn about yourself, what you want.
You get better at communicating, at approaching dating with more confidence.
It's about growth, evolving. That's the real win.
Beautifully said. And it's why this Reddit drama is so fascinating.
It forces us to look at the unspoken rules, the expectations.
Makes us think, what do we value in dating? How can we do it better?
So stay tuned, everyone. We're going to unpack all this and more.
Get ready to go deep.
We're going to dive into the psychology behind it all, the pros and cons of this grace period, and how to navigate this whole mess with, like, more clarity and kindness.
This is going to be good.
Oh, it is. Stay tuned.
I think what's really striking about this whole Reddit thread is just how intensely people are reacting to this situation.
Yeah, for real. It's like we're in this weird transition zone with dating. The old rules out the window, but we haven't figured out the new ones.
It's like uncharted territory, leading to so much confusion, hurt feelings, you know?
Definitely. So one of the big questions, why does the thought of your date seeing other people cause such a strong reaction? Even when technically it's fine.
Well, think about it. It kind of messes with your ego. We all want to feel special, right? Like we stand out.
Yeah, totally.
But if someone's dating multiple people, it can feel like, oh, I'm just one option among many.
It's like that fear of not being good enough, even when you know logically they're just exploring.
Exactly. And it also ties into our attachment styles, how we're wired to approach relationships.
Oh, right, right. Like from childhood and all that.
Exactly. Some people are cool with ambiguity, others need that certainty, that exclusivity right away.
So like someone with an anxious attachment style would freak out about multi-dating, while someone more secure wouldn't.
Pretty much. Their brains are wired differently. It's not about being right or wrong, it's understanding those patterns.
Makes sense. So it's not just about the dating itself, it's deeper stuff too.
Oh, yeah, tons of psychological stuff going on, plus all the societal pressures on top of that.
Okay, so let's go back to that grace period idea.
All right.
Sounds nice in theory.
Yeah.
Explore freely, no judgment. But practically, I don't get how it'd work.
It assumes everyone's on the same page about what that even means.
Right, like we saw in the Reddit thread, people's expectations are all over the place.
Exactly. And even if you agree on it, how do you know when it ends?
You have a meeting,
Yeah,
a ceremony. Seems like it'd get awkward fast.
it could, yeah. And even create weird power dynamics.
Oh, like someone feeling pressure to commit before they're ready?
Exactly, like we're trying to force a rule on something that's so personal.
Ugh, yeah, it's messy. So how do we navigate this new dating world better?
You know what this reminds me of? A study I read about. Couples who have regular State of the Union meetings, they report being way happier.
Wait, State of the Union meetings? Like, for your relationship?
Yep. Basically, set time aside to check in with each other. How's it going? Any issues?
That's genius.
Sure.
And I think it
Yeah.
applies to dating, too. Instead of unspoken roles, just talk.
Be proactive. Communicate instead of getting resentful later.
So, like, before you're all hurt and confused, you sit down and say, okay, what are we looking for?
Boundaries, expectations, the whole deal.
Might be scary at first, especially early on,
For sure. But it shows respect.
and saves so much heartache later on. Avoiding tough conversations never works.
Never. So something bugging you? Speak up. Trust me.
And it ties back to that win versus loss thing with the Reddit thread.
Right, right.
Everyone's so focused on who messed up, who came out on top.
But what if it's not about that? What if it's about learning?
Yeah, like even if the connection fails, you learn something about yourself.
You get better at communicating, at dating, with more confidence. That's a win.
Love that. So instead of drama, focus on the bigger picture.
Growing, evolving, becoming more you. That's what dating should be about.
I like that a lot. So it's not winning or losing, it's becoming a better version of yourself.
Exactly. And honestly, I think that's the best win you can get.
You know, with all this talk about communication and wins, there's one part of this Reddit thread we haven't really touched on yet.
You're talking about the language used to describe the woman,
I read
right?
that.
All the 304 stuff and calling her a pick-me girl.
Yeah, exactly. Because even though it might seem like just internet slang, it actually says a lot about how we view women who date, especially if they don't fit the mold.
It's like textbook double standards. A guy dates around, he's a stud. Woman does it. Suddenly, she's labeled with all these awful terms.
And it's not even just about judging her sexual activity. It's about trying to control women who make their own choices.
Right. Like if she doesn't follow the rules, she gets shamed and put back in her place.
It's so messed up.
Mm.
We need to create a dating culture where women can make choices without being judged.
100%. Respect everyone's choices. As long as they're being honest and kind, that's what matters.
Totally. And that includes being kind to ourselves, too, you know?
So, absolutely. Dating is hard. It's easy to get caught up in comparing yourself, doubting yourself.
But at the end of the day, we're all worthy of love, no matter what our dating history looks like.
Couldn't agree more. And sometimes the biggest wins in dating aren't about finding the one, but about what you learn about yourself.
Ooh, I like that. So it's about setting boundaries, communicating what you need.
Honoring your own values, even when it's tough, that's how you grow.
So a big takeaway for everyone listening, there's no right way to date. Find what works for you.
Be authentic, be honest, communicate your needs. That's the recipe for success.
And don't forget, be kind to yourself throughout the process. Celebrate the wins, learn from the tough stuff, and always remember, you deserve love and connection.
Beautifully said. Couldn't have put it better myself.
All right, everyone, as we wrap up this deep dive, one last question for you to think about.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Put yourself in OP's shoes. What would you have done in that situation? What values would guide your decision?
It's a great question to reflect on, because in the end, the most important answers in dating come from within.
So much truth there. We hope this deep dive gave you some food for thought, some new ways to look at modern dating. Until next time, happy dating, everyone.